FAA briefly shuts down El Paso Airport. A sudden, mysterious closure, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, temporarily shut down El Paso International Airport for roughly 10 hours. Monday night, triggering confusion among officials and travelers. The sudden restriction, spanning a 10 nautical mile radius and extending up to 18,000 feet, was implemented with minimal warning under the guise of national defense airspace, citing 49 U.S.C. 40,100, 3B, 3 and 14 CFR 99.7. Violators faced potential fines and even imprisonment. The FAA lifted the restriction after a few hours, later stating it was related to military testing of counter-drone technology at nearby Fort Bliss. Why this matters: the closure itself is highly unusual due to its initial 10-day duration with only hours of notice. Such long-term restrictions are rare, even in sensitive areas. The FAA's invocation of national security protocols raises questions about potential threats or operations in the region. The El Paso area, bordering Mexico, is a known hub for cross-border activity, including potential drug trafficking and illegal immigration. What could have triggered the closure? Several scenarios are plausible. Military testing. The FAA later confirmed this was the primary reason. Fort Bliss conducts frequent training exercises, and new counter-drone systems could necessitate airspace control to avoid interference. Border security. The proximity to the Mexican border suggests a possible connection to heightened security concerns. Unidentified drone activity or potential threats from cartels could have prompted the restriction. Classified operations. The lack of transparency hints at a covert operation, possibly involving intelligence gathering or law enforcement activity. The simultaneous restriction over the East Petrillo Mountains further supports this theory. Impact on travelers. The shutdown left travelers scrambling for alternatives. Las Cruces and Midland offer limited options, while crossing the border to Juarez, Mexico, or driving to Albuquerque became the most viable solutions. The sudden change created significant disruptions, especially for those already en route. Historical context. The severity of the situation recalls the aftermath of 9/11, when U.S. airspace was completely grounded for several days. However, even then, closures were shorter than the initially announced 10-day period in El Paso. Conclusion: the FAA's sudden closure of El Paso Airport, though short-lived, underscores the growing complexity of airspace security and the potential for rapid restrictions in response to perceived threats. The incident raises questions about transparency, coordination, and the balance between national defense and public convenience. The agency's later clarification regarding counter-drone testing suggests a focused, if opaque, operational need.